When you look at projects like GDA and other initiatives you're working with the stakeholders, what we've done is mapping the whole value chain and then asking ourselves, what are the components that we could potentially use satellites to address? And what are the components that we require stakeholders to come on board?
We are ensuring different kind of training, capacity building. We are ensuring for decision makers, which is more sensitizing that this is the added value. So this is one high level that my boss generally used to do with ministers, with high level personalities. Then you have the technical guys who are working mainly on Earth observation. You have the natural resource managers that they are good in agriculture, hydrology, whatever, but they are not good with the remote sensing. And then you have the communities, which they are not expertise. So different levels, different audiences, different communities. So we are building this kind of trust on these issues.
If we do this institutional capacity development, create those institutions in the countries, we make sure that beyond the life of the project, this Earth observation solutions will be maintained, will be used, and then this decision-making based on the data will continue. The GDA has a big role in this. What it does, it brings cutting-edge solutions to very many kind of projects in the water sector and other sectors in the World Bank.
Also affecting agriculture is locusts, which we had manifestations of that in the recent years. Now we have the GDA Knowledge Hub, and that helps in terms of now how we also custom make our solutions within government institutions. And we see the role of the agency is where now we are able to go to these platforms and sift through, pick out what is relevant, fit for purpose for our own use, and then try to see what we can then share to the market.
We were struggling on coming up on how to monitor desert locust and also how to forecast desert locust. So in 2019, when there was the outbreak, the upsurge of the desert locust, the GDA program came in hand because bridging now the technology that exists in Africa, combining satellite data and field data information to come up with different aspects of the monitoring. For example, the suitability habitat maps for breeding areas, which are very important for the control operations. It gives us the opportunity to act fast and also to know exactly, to target where the desert locusts are and control them before they become a problem.
ICPAC has been at the forefront when it comes to development of early warning products in the region. And one of the other observation data that we really utilize is products from the European Space Agency, the Sentinel, and all these other products from Copernicus. We have what we call the East African Hazards Watch. Under this watch, this is a one-stop shop where you're able to get early warning information on drought, on floods, pests, and agriculture, and all this. So we've had a lot of interactions with the products from European Space Agency.
We have been collaborating with technology that the GDL has brought in. So we work with the EUMETSAT, we work with the Copernicus, we work with the ESA, we work also with the EU Joint Research Center. So they provide technical assistance to implementing centers.
We've worked earlier with ESA, GDA and others, for example, on the Lake Victoria program, to have a lot of these Earth observation systems that can provide a more synoptic picture of the basin, to try and identify hotspots, to try and identify where one could help target investments relating to improvement in water quality or improving the landscapes or reducing erosion in these areas, requires this kind of a synoptic view which you can only get through a lot of these Earth observation systems and the associated GIS and other analytics that go with it. Be able to help counterparts to improve the way in which they can provide services for different stakeholders.
The GDA program through the World Bank has helped the Lake Victoria Basin Commission monitoring the water quality using the satellite data. Using the satellite data, it will help us to view in totality what is happening at all the areas in the lake. We need this satellite monitoring aspects to enhance the way of data gathering to inform the policy decision on what is happening with our lake.
During the GDA project, we focused mainly on 3 parameters. That is the turbidity, chlorophyll hair, and harmful algae bloom, also to help us identify the debris in the lake, and also maybe other aspect of mercury and other heavy metals within the lake.
We have cargo vessels going around the lake, and therefore any spillage that is going to happen on the lake with the remote sensing technology, it's critical that we can be able to observe and see in real time where if a spillage happens. Not only that, but also we have a problem of water hyacinth, and this water hyacinth not only affects the environment, but also the transportation. And therefore, if we can be able to monitor, the satellites can really capture this water hyacinth, and therefore the appropriate authorities in respective countries can act immediately and go and remove them.
The difference between the known unknowns and the unknown unknowns. And a lot of the ESA events help familiarize people and introduce people to the unknown unknown, right? And you won't look for help processing satellite data if you've never heard of that as an option. You won't ask the geospatial team for help if you've never used satellite imagery for anything before. So I think that's where the ESA has really made a lot of inroads, is showing what we would call low-hanging fruit, like basic low-level information that is otherwise very foreign to sort of the economists who do a lot of the project implementation at the bank. ESA has been very helpful with that.
A lot of the work that we've been doing with GDA has been eye-opening in terms of the potential that's there. But also, every time you do something, you always then begin to realize what more you can do. And so this is where I think we need to have this as a more longer-term collaboration across all sectors, not necessarily a focus area for a particular sector and then it dies, because we need to try and find ways to think about development in this integrated way in the foreseeable future till a lot of the actual problems are resolved on the ground.